The air crackled with an unspoken truth you've always felt, but never dared to name. It's a subtle hum beneath the surface of the everyday, a persistent whisper that reality isn't quite as solid as it seems. You've noticed the patterns, the uncanny repetitions, the way certain outcomes seem to chase you, regardless of effort. This isn't about trying harder or thinking more positively. It's about the very mechanics of how your reality is constructed, piece by painstaking piece, by an unseen foreman, your own perception. What if everything you thought you knew about cause and effect was merely a shadow play, masking a deeper, far more powerful engine? What if the universe isn't simply presenting you with challenges, but actively reflecting back the very loops you are projecting? It sounds impossible, a forbidden thought, but the evidence is all around you, hidden in plain sight. Every repeated failure, every frustrating delay, every moment of déjà vu is not a glitch in the system. No, they are fundamental features of how your personal reality renders. Prepare to unravel the hidden wiring. And before we dive deeper, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. These revelations aren't random, and if this video found you, it was meant to. Now let's begin. The mirror on your wall isn't a passive sheet of glass reflecting back what is. It's an active participant, a silent co-conspirator in the grand illusion of your reality. You look into it expecting to see yourself, but what if it's not merely showing you an image, but instead solidifying an identity? Each time you consciously or unconsciously affirm what you see, what you believe about yourself, the mirror doesn't just show it. It absorbs it, then projects it outward, reinforcing the very framework of your world. This isn't a gentle echo, it's a powerful feedback loop. Your self-perception becomes a command. Those feelings of inadequacy, the familiar sting of not being enough, these aren't just thoughts, they are programming directives. The mirror takes these projections and begins to render them into your lived experience, manifesting circumstances that validate your deepest, often unexamined, beliefs. What you perceive as an external truth is frequently just the mirror showing you what you've already told it to. Your world becomes a perfect, inescapable reflection of your internal state. And what if this mirror is far more expansive than you ever imagined? Next, we'll explore how observation itself is not mere discovery, but a radical act of collapse. Observation isn't some innocent act of taking in information. It's a profound, energetic intervention. When you observe something, you don't merely witness it, you force an indeterminate wave of potential into a single, concrete reality. Think of it. Before your gaze, countless possibilities exist, swirling in a quantum fog. But the moment your attention lands, focused and conscious, that fog collapses. Suddenly, one specific outcome, one particular version of events, snaps into undeniable existence. Everything else, every other potential, simply ceases to be for you. They vanish from your observable reality. This isn't theory, it's the core truth of the observer effect. Your mind isn't just processing information. It's actively solidifying the present. Your very act of seeing brings forth what is seen. And if your observation holds a bias, a pre-programmed expectation, guess which reality collapses into existence? The one you implicitly expected. It's why confirmation bias isn't just a psychological quirk, but a fundamental mechanism of reality rendering. The world doesn't reveal itself to you, it collapses into the shape of your observation. But what is observing from within you? Next, we expose the persistent nature of your identity as a rendering loop. Your identity isn't a fixed sculpture, it's a constantly running rendering loop, tirelessly projecting an image of who you are into the quantum field. Every thought, every memory, every ingrained belief about yourself acts as a pixel in this self-portrait. This loop runs 24/7, even when you're unaware. It's the invisible algorithm dictating the parameters of your personal reality. If your identity loop is broadcasting unworthy or stuck, then the universe, dutifully following instructions, will render experiences that validate precisely that. It has no choice but to reflect the dominant frequency. You might consciously desire a different outcome, But if the underlying identity rendering loop is unchanged, you're trying to paint over an image that's constantly regenerating beneath the new layers. It's a futile effort, like trying to edit a streaming video in real time. The original source code remains dominant. This loop defines your default perceived reality. It becomes your personal gravity well, pulling in corresponding events and circumstances. But if your identity is truly a rendering loop, why does it seem so resistant to change? Next, we must understand why nothing changes even when you do. You've tried to change. You've worked on yourself, read the books, affirmations, visualizations. Yet often, a familiar pattern returns, a shadow of the old self reemerges, and you find yourself asking why nothing truly sticks. This isn't because you're failing, it's because the perceived you is an embedded program. Your conscious efforts are often like trying to change a deep operating system command via a desktop shortcut. The surface changes, but the core function remains untouched, defaulting back to its original settings. This deep programming is your subconscious filter, a set of pre-existing beliefs and assumptions. It's the hidden director of your reality, deciding what gets through and what gets blocked before you even consciously perceive it. If the filter believes lack, it will only allow through experiences of lack, even if abundance is all around you. It's a selective perception machine. This filter is so powerful, it can actively repel desired outcomes that don't fit its embedded blueprint. It operates like a cosmic bouncer, ensuring only approved experiences enter your awareness. This powerful mechanism leads us to understand that the filter is the factory, not just a window. The filter isn't some passive lens through which you view the world. It is the factory floor where your reality is actively assembled. Every belief, every assumption, every unresolved trauma, every inherited pattern operates as a production line, manufacturing corresponding experiences moment by moment. This isn't about what you see. It's about what gets built and delivered to your conscious awareness. If your filter is configured for struggle, then struggle becomes the primary export. If it's set to victimhood, then situations that confirm victimhood are churned out with ruthless efficiency. It doesn't matter what you consciously desire if the factory is still producing something else. You are receiving what your internal production line is creating, not necessarily what you've ordered. The filter ensures you only get what it thinks you're supposed to get. Its influence is so pervasive, so fundamental, that it shapes the very elements considered possible for you. But how do we even begin to read the output of this hidden factory? What clues does it leave behind? Next, we discover that symbols are how the code leaks through. Symbols aren't just abstract representations. They are the universe's secret language. The code leaks from the quantum field, hinting at the underlying truth of your reality. Déjà vu isn't a random flicker of memory. It's a symbolic echo, a signal that your observer is stuck in a repeating loop. Synchronicities aren't strange coincidences, they are fractured lines in the code, moments where the underlying pattern of your filter becomes briefly visible. They are whispers from the deep, telling you exactly what your factory is producing. A broken mirror might symbolize a fractured identity. A recurring dream could be a symbolic rendering of an unresolved subconscious program. The universe speaks in these codes, presenting them not as direct instructions, but as mirrored reflections of your internal state. They are breadcrumbs leading back to the source of your rendering loop. These symbols are crucial because most of us are trying to change our reality by addressing the visible effects, not the underlying cause. This takes us to the critical realization that most manifestation advice is pointed at the wrong feed. Most manifestation advice, while well-intentioned, often directs your attention to the symptom, not the source. It tells you to focus on the desired outcome, to visualize the perfect life, to affirm your way to success. But this is like tending to a beautiful flower while ignoring the poisoned soil. You're trying to feed a new image into a perception system that's still drawing from an old, corrupted feed. The filter, the factory, the rendering loop, These are the deep mechanisms. Visualizations and affirmations are powerful, but only if they align with the master program, not in opposition to it. If your deep-seated identity loop is broadcasting lack, no amount of conscious affirmation of abundance can override it. The old program will merely reinterpret or nullify the new input, often solidifying the very lack you're trying to escape. You are battling against your own default settings. This misdirection explains why so many genuinely hopeful attempts at change seem to fall flat, echoing old failures. It's not a lack of effort. It's a misdiagnosis of the true operating system. This is a battle against something far more insidious, the danger of unconscious scripts. Unconscious scripts are the hidden puppet masters pulling the strings of your reality without your awareness. These aren't just beliefs, they are entire narratives programmed into your subconscious from childhood, trauma, or collective conditioning. They dictate your default reactions, your perceived limitations, your very path. These scripts run continuously, like background software, generating outcomes that align with their storyline. If your unconscious script is, "I must struggle to achieve," then every step, no matter how much conscious effort you exert, will be fraught with difficulty. It will engineer the struggle. They are self-fulfilling prophecies embedded at the deepest level of your being. You might think you're choosing your path, but it's often the script playing out its predetermined plot. These scripts keep old identities alive, even when your conscious self yearns to break free. They are the anchors holding you to past versions of yourself, preventing the emergence of a new iteration. This pervasive influence means that to truly shift, we must address these old identities. We must realize that dead selves must be buried, not remembered. To manifest a new reality, the old self, the one tied to those unconscious scripts and rendering loops, must be consciously, ceremonially, and completely buried. It cannot be remembered fondly, nor can its wounds be endlessly revisited. Each remembrance is a resuscitation, a pulling back from the grave. When you cling to the narrative of struggle, the stories of past failures, or the comfortable familiarity of who you once were, you are unknowingly breathing life back into a dead identity. This zombie self then continues to influence your present, overriding your attempts at transformation. The universe cannot render a new you as long as the old one keeps flickering. There is no space for the new creation when the old one still occupies the primary bandwidth. This requires a radical act of detachment, a willingness to let go of every story, every label, every former limitation. It means severing the energetic ties that bind you to a past version of who you are. This release prepares the ground for real change, but how do we achieve this burial? Next, we discover the power of micro-experiments that break the feed. To truly dismantle the old rendering loops and bury the dead self, you need to engage in micro-experiments that deliberately defy your ingrained unconscious scripts. These aren't grand gestures, they are small, daily acts of rebellion against your default programming. If your script says, "Always struggle with money," then a micro-experiment might be to consciously buy something small you normally wouldn't, without guilt. It's about creating tiny, undeniable proofs that contradict the old narrative, chipping away at its authority. If your script says, "You're not creative," then spend 5 minutes doodling without judgment. These small acts are quantum disruptions. Each one is a momentary collapse that introduces a new, unpredicted possibility into your reality stream, even if minutely. They are designed to introduce glitches into the old system, to provide evidence that your perceived limitations are not absolute. These micro-victories begin to rewrite the underlying code. They reveal that what you want can't appear until you vanish. What you truly desire, that authentic, expanded self, cannot emerge until the you that desires it vanishes. Not in a literal sense, but in the sense of the established identity, the one holding all the past patterns and limitations. The old you is a placeholder, a default setting. As long as that default is occupying the quantum space, the new version, the unmanifested potential, has no room to collapse into reality. It's like trying to download a new operating system onto a full hard drive. The existing files must be deleted first. This vanishing isn't annihilation, it's a shedding. It's the ego stepping aside, allowing a more resonant, aligned version of yourself to render fully. It means releasing the need to control the outcome, releasing the attachment to the how. The you that understands current limitations must dissolve. Only then can the universe, unimpeded, bring forth the reality that matches your newly cleared, open field of possibility. This internal shift, however, often comes with a disorienting sensation, timeline drift, and the lag that betrays you. As you begin to vanish and shift your internal rendering, you may experience a disorienting sensation of timeline drift. Suddenly, events feel slightly off, or familiar situations take unexpected turns. This isn't chaos, it's a symptom of your reality recalibrating. This drift often comes with a lag. You've consciously declared a new reality, done the internal work, but the external world hasn't quite caught up. This gap, this frustrating delay, is the lag that betrays you. It's the moment where the old reality fights to sustain itself, even as the new one is forming. The old timeline, the one your dead self inhabited, still possesses momentum. Like a receding tide, it pulls at the new shore you're constructing. This lag is critical. It's where many falter, mistaking the delay for failure. It's where the old identity tries to reassert its dominance. But this lag is also a powerful signal. It tells you that the shift is happening, that the old reality is losing its grip. It shows you the sheer force of change in action. But through all of this, a deeper question emerges. Who ultimately is watching this collapse? Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next one.